So, hello fellow language learners. My name is Glenn and today we're going to talk about the differences between transliterate, transcription and translation. Now, each of these starts with trans and they actually do a different thing when you're learning a language. Now, in some languages like Chinese, you actually wouldn't use a transliteration because they use a character system. So you have the word yan and then you use the transcription, which I will explain in a minute. So we'll go through each of these in part and we'll just learn what they are for. So for the first part, I have a Greek word. So I have this word. I do not know how to pronounce it or what it actually means, but I see that some of the lettering is pretty familiar. So that looks like an E. That looks like a funny type of E or backwards 3, a U, a PIA. And, well, we're going to go through each, a transliterate, translation, and transcription, and see if we can identify what it actually means. So, for a transliteration, all you're essentially doing is taking the original Greek alphabet and transliterating it into a Latin alphabet, because you already know. So this actually makes it easier for you to pronounce it if you find it difficult to actually learn the Greek alphabet. And it's actually used to learn different types of scripts around the world. So this is actually changing the alphabet system, or if they don't use an alphabet system, changing it into probably like Chinese characters. And it actually helps you to translate the word and to pronounce it better. Okay, a transcription is essentially changing a transliteration, so that we saw before, to a form that is actually the form that they actually pronounce in Greek. So here is the pronunciation. So a transcription is just pronunciation. So in the Greek, it actually says eleftheria. So what you actually thought was a P before is actually an R in Greek. And what is actually looks like an overcross in it is a F sound. Now my pronunciation of Greek is not actually good. Actually I don't speak Greek, but this is the basis of how you pronounce another language. And when you speak to native speakers, they can actually help you to correctly pronounce a letter or a word. So just take this as a guide and not as a definite conclusion on the pronunciation. So a translation is just actually what the meaning is in English, because you have two systems. Well, it's good to know how to pronounce it, but if you don't know what it means, how can you use it in a sentence? So this word eleftheria just means freedom. So that's the basic meaning in English. Now, it actually could have more than one meaning in English depending on the circumstances, but for this word, I'm not too sure on that. So translation just means changing the meaning to an English form that you already understand. But for a letter combination in Greek, which is this combination here, there's actually two pronunciations depending on the word and the circumstance. So in a transliteration, we'd actually just change it to EU. But in the transcription for pronunciation purposes, we've changed to EV or EF. So this is actually where it becomes more complicated. And for a reading of it, I prefer to use the transcription that would actually give you a correct pronunciation. But if you already know Greek, you know the alphabet and you know how it works, then a transliteration could be the way to go. So those are the basic differences between a transliteration, a transcription, and a translation. I hope it didn't confuse you anymore. I actually found this quite easy to understand, and so can you. So if you want to do homework, you can take the words transliterate, transcription, and translation and change it into your language. I'd like it if you post it down below, because that would be awesome. So please have an awesome day. Like and subscribe if you enjoy watching this video and if you learned something, and have an awesome day, people. Bye bye.